AC first year. Today I like to add the how to interface a signal generator, that means function generator, in short FG, with a CRO. CRO means cathode ray oscilloscope, analog cathode ray oscilloscope. In previous video I will show you, I already described you how a oscilloscope operate, basic operation will be done, has been done, and now we are actually connecting a physical signal source with a oscilloscope. By this signal source you will, as Atanu sir already told you, that you will generate different kind of waveform as well as the variety of frequency, but in this instrument you can generate only 0 to 2 megahertz frequency in every wave shape, that means sinusoidal or square wave or triangular wave or pulse, ramp, anything you can generate by this function switch. And when you when you want to change your frequency, you have to use this button of frequency, as well as you can vary by the frequency vernier switch over here, frequency vernier knob over here. At any range you can change this frequency accordingly. This instrument can start generate from 20, 200, 20k and 2k also. There will be another range in between these, and up to 2m. That means it at any instant you can generate up to 0 to 2 megahertz frequency from any wave. And one thing manufacturer has introduced for your convenience, the entire spectrum of these instruments 0 to 2 megahertz has been divided 7 different ranges. Why? How? Your entire frequency spectrum has been 0 to DC, 0 or DC to 20 megahertz, which has been divided in this manner: 2 hertz, then next 20 hertz, then next. By this knob you can shift it accordingly. I described you in written: 20 hertz, then 200 hertz, next 2 kilohertz, next 20 kilohertz, next 0.2 m means megahertz, 0.2 megahertz means 200 kilohertz, as you already know, and next is 2m means 2 megahertz. Okay, you will see maybe some step will be jumped for this malfunctioning of the switch, but you clearly will be available this kind of range: 2 hertz, 20 hertz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 200 has been jumped, directly go to 2 kilohertz, 20 kilohertz, 0.2 m, that means 200 kilohertz. Again, as you already told, the switch is malfunctioning, so no problem. This is the actual scenario, how you will get this range, and how this entire spectrum has been divided in 7 ranges. Okay. Now I like to highlight it today with you what are the basic troubleshooting what will be done at your end, because we will see, we already seen that in every lab first year student makes some mistakes, basic mistakes, to connect instrument with another and perform a experiment when they try to operate the instruments. Suppose after switch on both the instrument, you will get some abrupt picture, abrupt information or signal, not its as you desire. So what you should do? First switch on these two instruments. Suppose you find in this way, please take a very close look at the screen. You will see in a faint vertical lines throughout the screen. No perfect waveform will be seen over here. So what should you do? First you disconnect your signal, then you will see the distinct waveform or trace line at the center of the screen. First you will have to set your oscilloscope in this manner, where a prominent trace line will be visible at the center of the screen. by which your signal will generate, and then connect the instrument. Now if you connect the instrument, your trace line will disappear. What it is nothing to do. You have to more, only you have to check your volts per division switch, because the volt per division switch is set at highly sensitive mode as per your input signal, because your input signal so large and you set your volts per division switch in so sensitive mode. So you have to make it less sensitive by turn it at left side, so your signal will be accommodated within the skin vertically. Okay. Maybe you will see in another case in this manner. So what will be your action? Because your signal is, look at the function generator side, your signal is generated in the source at near about, suppose, 1 kilohertz. Now it is 1 kilohertz. Okay, now it is 1 kilohertz. 1 kilohertz means your standard single cycle time period will be around 1 millisecond, and but your time base has been set at 20 milliseconds. So as you already know by the formula of the frequency and relation of the time, f is equal to 1 by t. That means f and t are inversely proportional related. That means if your time is higher, you will be able to plot a signal at a low frequency. If your time is shorter, then you will be able to observe a high frequency. Now if your time base at 20 millisecond, that means every big division has a value of, every big division has a value of 20 ms. Okay. Now you have to find a signal which is standard time period at 1 millisecond. That means in this one division you will be able to see so many 20 cycles at a time. So how could you see a single particular waveform or cycles in this time period base? You have to match your instrument time base. That means inside the oscilloscope there will be a sweep oscillator. You have to match your sweep oscillator according to your source. So if you make your time base at 1 millisecond instant, then only you will see a complete time period or cycle in a big division area. That means your single time period will accommodate with this one big division. And if you furthermore elaborate or illustrate this signal to view the properly or analyze it properly, then you may decrease your time with your in comparison to your actual signal. That means your actual signal has 1 millisecond, you may be set at 0.2 or 0.1, not too furthermore, because if you fast your sweep or small your time so much according to your original signal, then you will see only part of this waveform in a single instant in this way, right now whatever we have seen. So in this situation you cannot measure the two consecutive peak time distance at a time. So you will have to accommodate your single time period in a screen at a time. So how do you adjust your first? Because suppose you have to check 1 kilohertz, you have to must set your time base half of your actual signal. Your actual signal has 1 millisecond, you have to set your instrument oscilloscope time base at least half of the 1 millisecond, that means 0.5 millisecond. Then only you will get the two peak as its two peaks lying covering with the two big division. One is 1 millisecond, one is 0.5 millisecond and another is 0.5 milliseconds. So 0.5 and 0.5 plus 1 millisecond is your total distance. Okay, from here to here. So, and another thing is, suppose you set your volts per division properly, suppose you set your time per division properly, but you cannot get any trace. Suppose after switch on, suppose you will get this kind of scenario. Your signal is properly accommodated with the screen, but it's not hold. So as you measure it properly, the time base and volts amplitude of the signal, so what can you do? As we already described in the previous video, there will be a very important function in this trigger block. In this trigger block, you have to determine your trigger source. You can already see that we have already connected the signal from the function generator at channel 1. So you have to set your source accordingly. You have to set your mode also, trigger mode also. In this normal mode, suppose you doesn't set it at auto mode, and in channel 1 mode, until unless your signal will not hold or stable to read out properly, because these two function is very important. So set the trigger mode at auto by default, and according to the signal input, you have to set your channel source, signal source. If you connected the signal at channel 1, then select the trigger source at channel 1. If you connect it at, what happened? See, I am already set it at channel 2. We have changed our input signal from channel 1 to channel 1 from channel 2, and still we have selected our trigger source at channel 1. What happened? See these things. Channel 1 has, this stage is for channel 1. Channel 1 has no signal. Channel 2 has something, but bigger than our screen. So you already know that in that case you have to decrease your volts per division switch. Still your signal is rolling. This situation, this scenario called rolling or without trigger mode. Then you have to set your trigger source at channel 2. Then only your signal sweep can visible properly or hold for any further measurement. And in that case you have another controls called level, trigger level. By this knob you can forcefully make your signal untriggered and triggered as well as. So what is the function of this? After you shift your horizontal position manually, forcefully at any side, you will be able to visible the start of the sweep from where your sweep has been started. By this level knob you can find any desired trigger level, trigger mode, trigger position. If you want to trigger the signal in negative slope, you start from here, and if you want to trigger your signal from positive edge, then you will shift this knob at this position, then your signal will start from here. Suppose you have to analysis a signal in entire sweep position where any disturbance has or any glitch has or any interference has, then you have to move your trigger level throughout the position edge to edge. So that all are the advanced function, but still if you doesn't set it properly, you will be facing some problem. Now we will also elaborate you how your function generator parameters or front panel controls will be set at default condition to view a signal. Now you will see in that condition your function generator also generating a frequency of 1 kilohertz, but still your oscilloscope doesn't visible any signal. So what is the matter? maybe you will face this kind of problem in your practical lab. So you will see there has been two button for attenuation. What is attenuation? Attenuation just opposite or vice versa of amplification. If you attenuate and press this switch at attenuation mode, that means your current signal has been attenuated 40 dB plus 20 dB, that means 60 dB. That means if you generate 1 volt peak to peak signal, then your signal should be almost 6 millivolt in that condition if you press this both switch at a time on. So by default you definitely will check your attenuator switch does not get switch on, because attenuation does not required in that condition in normal testing mode. It is required for any advanced or very low sensitive signal generation mode. You doesn't require it right now. And there will be a 4 knobs, 4 controls. What are the functions of them? This is your amplitude button. By this knob you will see your signal will be attenuated or get decremented. See, when I decrease the amplitude, your oscilloscope starts rolling. Why it is? Because this oscilloscope has a limitations. If your signal is not more than 1/3 of any vertical big division, your oscilloscope does not make it triggered. So you have to make it further mode amplify or disattenuate from your volts per division switch. So this is your control from function generator to achieve a desired amplification level of your signal as volt peak to peak manner. And this is the frequency vernier switch. At any range you will change your this is your actual frequency value 1.1 kilohertz, range is 2 kilohertz. Within 2 kilohertz you can generate from from how much we can generate. You can generate from 176 hertz to maximum 2.13 kilohertz by this vernier knob, but not more than that. If you require more than 2.13 kilohertz, then you have to shift your frequency range. That means from 2K to 200K, to 20K. This button has some erratic function, so don't worry. Let me see. After 2K it should come 20K. Yeah. Now you will see in that condition, when it is at 2K, you will find the maximum frequency value at 2.16. At 20K range, it will incremented at 21.64. Now your waveform look like this, because your time base settings it's still at 0.5 millisecond, but this 0.5 millisecond does not proper for this high frequency 21 kilohertz. Then what you should do? You should less your time, so your oscilloscope will accommodate this high frequency as per the time goes. So you have to make it in microsecond mode. When I make it 50 microsecond, then I can visible this high frequency properly in a default manner. Okay. And there will be another button called duty cycle. Duty cycle you does not should use in this preliminary lab. Duty cycles means your on time, off time. Any signal has their on time and off time. This is your zero line. From zero line to positive side, this time period is called on time, and from zero line to negative side, this portion is called off time. So you made it, how you made it on time and off time. change, you can only in this pulse mode, see here in this display pulse signal mode, you can only change this signal, change the duty cycle accordingly. See, now your duty cycle is properly 50%. That means on time and off time. This time period, this area is your on time, this is your off time. Now it's on time and off time is almost same. That means you can say this is a 50% duty cycles waveform, and this is now your on time is more higher than the off time, and now your on time is lesser than your off time. Okay, so this is a duty cycle operation when you can vary it by this knob. And this is the DC offset mode. DC offset mode means if you put your switch at AC mode, you could if it is ground, your signal is particularly centered at the screen. Okay, if you switch on this coupling switch at AC mode, then you will clearly realize that your on signal on time and off time, positive side and negative side is equally distributed across the ground line, zero line. If you put this in DC mode, then you will see your positive side is lesser, your negative side is higher. Why it is? Why that? Because in AC mode you doesn't find the offset. It will instrument will capture only the AC component of this frequency of this signal. But in this DC mode, it will as well as capture the AC component also, as well as the DC component also, DC bias also. Because this switch, if you vary this switch, it would manually set your DC offset level at the center of the screen. Okay. Now we could say your signal, your source doesn't has any DC offset. But in that mode, but in this mode or in this mode, everyone clearly realize that your signal has a DC offset, because in AC mode it is properly equally distributed in positive half and negative half, but in DC mode it is shifted either or way, either negative way, negative side or positive side by this switch, by this mode. Okay, so this is another advanced feature of this signal generator. Okay, right now maybe you does not require, but I have to discuss you because you have so many queries in this first year. So 2 days, for 2 days, that is the up to this mark we will finish this lab. So next time we will be discuss more. Thank you. So now student, today we connect these two instruments. This is the function generator as a signal source and our CRO as well. We have to connect these two instruments by a different type of cable. This is BNC to BNC, because this both sides have been connected a BNC terminal. So the function generator has a output terminal here. We have to connect it here and channel 1 in CRO. Okay. Now we find one small signal is coming, and that signal is not stable, slowly moving or rolling. So first our task is to make that signal visible in the screen clearly. So that's how we have to calculate and measure the signal properly. First you have to just scale up your vertical volts per division switch at 0.5 volt per division here, 0.5 volt per division by this knob, volt per division, and then you have to trigger. As I already said you, this is your trigger block. Why this signal is rolling? Because you have connected your signal at channel number 1, and by default here already your trigger selection switch has been set at channel 2. So you have to push it at change it at channel 1, and then see automatically the signal has been stable. Now
before the time measurement you have to set your sweep vernier switch at calibration position, okay, and set your time base so the two consecutive peak will be clearly visible to each other. At least it will be differentiated or go away at least more than one peak division, okay. Yes, it is already set it as per. Now at the beginning of the frequency measurement, first we have to set our trace by shifting horizontally to any of our vertical line, any one peak, okay. And now we have to calculate the distance between these two peaks, because we can take these two peaks as a single duty cycle, okay, standard duty cycle of this waveform. So in this regard, you clearly seen that every big division have a consecutive 5 small subdivision. So we can assume that if the big division is a 1 unit and the respective subdivision will be 0.2, taken as a 0.2. So in here your total time period distance will be 1, and yes, you will be clearly seen that if you incline your any of the peak in any vertical line of the screen of starting of any big division, after completing the one time period on one time cycle, the next peak has come just here. So you have to calculate the distance, count the distance as like this. This is one division, and then after a small subdivision and your peak lying between first and second small division. So take it as a 0.2 plus 0.1, 0.3, and this is 1. So your entire peak to peak difference, time difference will be 1.3, and at that time the time base had already set it at in calibrated mode. In calibrated mode, time base already set it at 0.5 millisecond. So for the calculation of the frequency, you have to fill up a table where your teacher will be given in the lab the type of the waveform and frequency, okay. Frequency will be given and waveform has been told off to you. So suppose in that case, here in our case, first we have to take in it as a sine function, and frequency has been 1.5 kilohertz. Now your task has been to verify the frequency, verify this given frequency by the oscilloscope reading. That's what you have been generated in the function generator, and as well as the voltage amplitude is already unknown. So you have to next verify the voltage amplitude also. So as per our reading, we have already take our time period. We can already calculated our time period 1.3 division into our real time base setting, set it at 0.5 ms, okay. And you already know that frequency is equal to 1 by t. This whole thing is your t, that means a single time period, time of a duration of a single time period, and this is a unit time. 1 means 1 second. So now here 1 is, this is 1 is 1 second, and you already know that frequency is equal to 1 second unit time by your total t of a single time period, duration of a single time period. So we already set our time base at 0.5 millisecond and our calculated peak difference will be 1.3 division. So our entered time will be 0.65 ms. So we have to also convert our second into millisecond by multiplied by 10 to the power 3. So after calculation we will get 1538 Hertz, or you can say at almost approximate 1.538 kilohertz. So it is near about almost same as per our stated generated frequency. Now in same manner we have to calculate our amplitude by this volt per division knob. Already it has been set at 0.5 volt per division, and now we have to verify after set our top peak of the signal at any horizontal line, and accordingly we have to count how many distance it has covered vertically from top to bottom. Okay, so this is your 1 division, 2 division, 3 division, 4 division, and then after just shifted horizontally, then after 4.2 you can take it as a 1 2 3 4.2. This much your total transition as a volts per division, and at that condition your time base volt per division already set it at 0.5 volt per division. So your voltage amplitude will be 4.2 division into 0.5 volt. So make it calculate. After calculation you will get it is 2.1 volt. So whatever signal we have generated in the function generator, this unknown voltage amplitude has been confirmed by the CRO as a 2.1 volt peak to peak, V peak to peak. Okay, that's why we have taken when we consider this amplitude total voltage amplitude, we have to consider our peak to peak from one positive peak to negative peak. That's why we have to mention over here 2.1 volt peak to peak. Okay, in this manner you have to make all the experiment for the different waveform as a square and triangular. Suppose you taken square waveform as a 500 Hertz and triangular as a 10 kilohertz, so and so. So accordingly you have to check all the frequency. First you have to generate the frequency waveform or signal with the already given frequency. You have to generate first and then read the waveform at the oscilloscope and put your value in the table, where you can show your calculation how you will achieve as per your generation. Thank you very much.